That is also what she said.
First.
You seconded it.
Second and then third. So is everybody all in favor? Anybody opposed?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, the motion carries. So thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for running.
Yeah.
We also still have door prizes, so don't leave.
No,
Don't
stay
leave.
here.
We have a
Music.
big prize that Brad will be calling out.
Yeah.
And it is actually, according to the agenda, door prize time.
Yeah.
What is your agenda?
Is Jenny Metke here? Oh, I'm sorry, she was not able to make it. We're sorry that she couldn't come. But we appreciate her. She's from Midtown, Phillips, but she always is supportive of Epic and all the work that we do.
Have like a part-time, like hustle, doing nutritional.
Hey guys, guess what? Time for another drawing. All right. One of the things that it's an absolutely indispensable tool that nobody can get along without. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in one tool right in this little number right here. I've got several of them, and I was kind of hoping that nobody'd show up so I'd get the 3 that we have to give away today, but that's not going to happen. Okay, I need another young volunteer to pick a number. Go. You're too old. Sorry. All right. Do we have? Oh, good. Here, let's tell everybody what your name is real loud in here. Ashwan, thank you. Let's give Ashwan a hand for coming up and helping. All right. What we'd like you to do, Ashwan, is just put your hand in here and take one card out. Stir them up a little. That's good. Perfect. Now, read the numbers real loud.
637143.
And the last 3 are what?
143.
The last digits are 1, 4, 3.
We have a winner.
We have a winner, huh?
143.
Is that yours? No? Oh, we don't have a winner yet.
Oh, back there.
Check your cards. Who's got it? Shirzad Podium. You know what? While Shirzad is coming up, nobody is more deserving of this tool than Shirzad. Shirzad is our chef today. Thank you so much for all of your work in the kitchen. And Shirzad is actually a former Epic board member. And his mom, Rosie Cruz, right here. And so, thank you so much. And another thing you need to know about Shirzad, he's got this little truck. Tell us about your truck.
Well, I have a food truck, Poppy Fresco. This year I'm just doing events. Last year I ventured off and just did the whole downtown thing, and it's been really fun and difficult at the same time, but just not giving up and just keep on going and kind of slowly transitioning into something that eventually I want to get to. So yeah, if you see it, it's a little trailer. It's green, kind of neonish. Yeah, just stop by.
And how do they get a hold of you, Shirzad, if they want to call you up and come over to their...
Yeah, I have a Facebook page, Poppy Fresco. Just send me a message. But yeah, you can get my contact information with Brad as well. So.
Shirzad, thank you so much. Enjoy your 6 in 1 or 7 in 1 tool, however many there are. Let me know when you get a count. Tell you what, we're going to do another T-shirt right now while we're thinking about it. Okay. Okay. Another volunteer. Can we get another volunteer?
Would you like to volunteer? Mimi will. Mimi, we got Mimi.
Oh, okay, come on, good for you. And tell everybody real loud, Mike, what your name is. And turn around so everybody can see you, Mimi, thank you. Okay, and what I'd like you to do is just pick out one card and read the last three numbers real loud.
But we should also do that. So
Barry, you can't hardly talk.
Okay, 170. 170, the last three numbers. Who's got 170?
if you're not going to get you don't have any.
Who's got 170?
170 here.
Huh? You got what?
Last number, right?
Yeah, last three digits, 170. All right. And it'll go really well with your sweatshirt. There you are. There it is. Very good. Congratulations. Thank you very much. All right. So, tell you what, while we're thinking about things here, we have a petition over here. If you guys like the idea, here we're talking about the East Phillips Indoor Urban Farm again. We think it's going to be better on that site, on the Roof Depot site, to have food, jobs for the neighborhood, affordable housing, a bike repair shop, a little cafe called the World Cafe, and a coffee shop, all run by the people in this neighborhood. And if you think that's better than the city storing their diesel truck fleet, putting in their sand and the salt mix for melting snow on the streets, and storing their manhole covers and their sewer pipes there. If you think that's better than our plan, then don't sign our petition, okay? Forget the petition. But if you think our plan is better, there's a petition over here. We'd really like you to sign it. We've got almost 400 people already signed up, and there's probably about another 25, 30 here. If you're interested in this, if you like this plan, sign our petition, okay? Also, while we're talking about opportunities for people in the neighborhood, our community garden, right down here on 17th in the next block, still has a few garden plots left. So if anybody's interested in a garden plot, the annual cost is $30 plus a $5 fee for the key. We just had the water turned on a couple days ago. So we're all set to go in the garden. If anybody wants to have a garden plot, talk to me. Also, while we're talking about people working in the kitchen, I'd like to thank all the people. We already thanked Shirzad. He already won a screwdriver. And that's Al Johnson there in the back. Robert Wright. And the two sons of another former board member. Come on out and wave at us, everybody. And there, okay, thanks. Thank you all for working. And yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah. And the cake was donated by who knows? Wait a minute. I know because I just wrote the check. We did a cake splitting thing here with one of the local bakeries down here.
I'm trying to remember.
And Goma Bakery. Uh-huh.
And are we gonna do it on the second cake?
Yeah? Okay. What's that?
Donated the second cake.
That came from Rosie, connections with, from Rosie Cruz, the second cake.
The cart is over there in the cake wall. It's Gama Bakery, across the street from the Silver America Lake Street, 17. And then she lives on 17 and 24 and 17, so she's part of Epic.
So the point is, we have lots of cake. If anybody goes home hungry, it ain't our fault. Get out there and have some cake. There's more coffee and more juice too. Mary, there you
How many more
go.
prizes do we have?
We got a few more.
Okay.
So, right now, I just want to remind you that the grand prize, door prize, is the last one. And so if you want to have a chance to win the grand prize, door prize, you're going to have to stay.
I'll bring it in.
The next item on our, well, I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about an item that's not on our list. And the board recently worked on our Minneapolis Community Participation Plan funding budget and report. And we voted to submit a plan to the city of Minneapolis to request funding for 2019, 2020, and 2021. And as a part of that application, we created budgets for each of those 3 years that include putting some of the money that the city has set aside for our neighborhood to bring on staff. And I don't probably need to tell you that it's time for us to do that. For the past 20 years, Epic has worked really hard to get the biggest bang for our buck that we possibly could. If Carol was here, she could probably tell you how many new houses we built. 40. She could probably tell you how many houses we rehabbed. Waiting for that? Well, there was a lot of them. She could probably tell you how many apartment buildings we built. How many of those townhouses we built.
Yep. Yep.
The 2 elder housing buildings. The swimming pool.
Yeah.
The park building.
Yes.
Epic has really rocked over the past 20 years.
Yes.
We've done a lot of it with NRP money, but we also took the money from the city and we stretched it out. We not only built things, we supported people and activities in Epic. We have funded youth baseball,
Yes.
youth soccer. We funded kids in the scout program to travel and learn more about peacemaking and reconciling differences. We have supported citizen patrols, crime and safety, powwows, gardens,
Yes.
memorials, speed bumps,
Yes.
a summer fest. What year are we in, Brad? Do you know what year this is going to be this summer?
I think this will be the 6th.
Our 6th annual Summerfest is coming up with community members providing entertainment, food, and fun and information.
Can I just say one thing more?
Sure.
And you know, if it wasn't for Epic and all the people in this neighborhood who came together, working for 5 years, you'd be sitting in the dirt out here in a park called Cockroach Park right now. But guess what? This neighborhood and all the folks around here came together, raised $5.5 million. Took us 5.5 years, but by golly, we built the only community center in the Minneapolis park system that was paid for and designed by the people. Congratulations!
Thank you. So please, put it on your calendar to be watching for the announcement for our June Summerfest party here. Don't wait until June. Tell your kids and your grandkids and your parents and your grandparents about it now. Bring them over here. Let's celebrate.
When is it? Yeah.
Do we have a date?
June 23rd.
June 23rd. Put it in your phone.
That's a Sunday.
It's a
1 o'clock.
Sunday at 1 p.m. And put it in your calendar now. Set up an email and then add the names of all your friends and family. Let's make this a huge party this summer. Right? Thanks, Mary. One other thing I'd like to just say about this community participation plan funding. This is something that we have been receiving from the city for years. We've been criticized by the city for how we use it. It almost breaks the heart of many of our board members that we are going to have to put this money into staff. But the time has come, and we tightened our belts, and we grit our teeth, and we voted to do it. And so we are going to be submitting this plan to the city of Minneapolis, and we're going to probably be looking for that staff person. So if you know somebody who's passionate, maybe has experience, isn't looking to make a ton of money, but is rewarded and energized by serving their community, let us know who they are. And let them know that we're going to be looking for someone special to help us get this work done. Because Carol's not going to be around to push that rock up the hill forever. And we need to give her a break. Many of the other board members are working full-time jobs, and so we really do need that staff person to fill in the gap right now. And I'd also like to just say at this time, we have a long-time board member leaving us this year. And I would just like to give a shout out to Linda Leonard for all that she has done over many, many years. Brad talked about this building, and he could probably be maybe a little more accurate than I will be, but I seem to remember that it was Linda Leonard who got up at one of our meetings and put one of these clings on the wall and told this community, we don't have to take what the city's willing to give us. Let's tell the city what we want. And that night we sat down, and our community, how many people were there? 50? Something like 50 people or more were there, and we wrote down what we wanted in a park.
Yes.
We wrote it on a piece of paper that we still have today.
On a paper sack, I think.
Yeah.
And believe me, Epic is amazing. It really is. And I just want to thank Linda for all your passion, your commitment, your hard work, your creativeness, and we wish you all the best. Maybe one day you'll come back. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, what I want to say, I guess it has been a pleasure, and I live here, and I'm not moving anytime soon. But we're into the next generation who needs a grandma who can come home at bedtime. So we are on our way to swimming lessons at the pool. And for those of you who are in East Phillips, this little person gets 4 lessons for $5. And the teaching ratio is about 1 to 2 kids. So as I understand it, the lessons are full for this summer, epic annual meeting. The microphone is next to my phone, and it's gonna die soon. So what do you want to say? Oh, no, don't tell us that. Okay, we're echoing, go ahead. Mary just talked about all the things that we accomplished in 20 years.
Oh, the meeting's still going on?
Yes, Carol, you're here.
Isn't she watching the live stream?
Gabe has a live stream going and he wants to know if you're
Just
watching
for
it.
her.
I know, but I don't know how to do it.
Follow the instructions.
Yeah.
We love you, Carol!
Yes! Woo!
So we had the elections and the full slate of officers were elected, the new directors, and I think the 4 people who were on the form, and who else was? Steve, right?
Steve, yeah.
And Steve will be joining you for the next meeting.
What about Chantel?
Yeah, she's still here.
She's here.
They're here
Do you
too.
hear everyone talking to you? You're on the microphone live at the meeting. Everyone hears you.
Hey, say that again.
We put the phone on the microphone so we all hear you at the meeting. Isn't that nice? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the whole meeting? Because everyone's listening.
Yes, I love all of you. And you know something? We have the best board. We have the best board in the whole Twin Cities. We have the best board. The most dedicated, smartest, the most diverse, everything board that you could have. It's a gift. I mean, you're all amazing. You're just all amazing. I mean, it's 24 meetings a year, my God. You know, but we know each other pretty well. We really stormed the powers to stop us from doing good things. So, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being willing to serve.
Okay, I think they're gonna save you a piece of cake.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I gotta go. We're gonna be late to our swimming lesson. Bye-bye.
Bye, Carol.
Well, that was timely.
Thank you. Okay, thank you all for letting me go on and wax all of my compliments towards all the work that has been done by the EPIC board, the EPIC community for the past 20 years. And at this time, I think, would it be a good time for a door prize, Brad?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let's have another door prize.
Always a good time for a door prize. Okay, guys, we're going to do about 3 in a row, real quick. Got another T-shirt. I need a volunteer. Need one of your little kids come up. One of your big kids. Not too big kids. Come up and do a little drawing. Here we go. Okay. We're going to do Mary. You got the book. Your name again.
Ashwan.
Ashwan, very good. Thanks for doing this again. It's hard, I know, 2 of them. Last 3 digits.
186.
Good work, 186. Don't go away because we got 2 more to go. 186. All right. Now let's get ready for another one of these screwdrivers. There you go. I'll take your card. Congratulations. Wear it
All right.
every day. Show the neighborhood we love wearing the hardware.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to get another one? This is for a screwdriver.
Let's see.
194.
Okay, everybody hear that? 194. All right. Very good. Congratulations.
Wait a minute,
Walked in late and won. Just like bingo.
Very good. Congratulations. Thank you. Got another one. Now this one is going to be for another screwdriver. Okay. If we have anything that breaks, we're going to call you.
192.
Good job. 192. 192.
No cigar though.
Going once? Anybody in the kitchen? 192? Going twice? 192 is gone. You get to draw another one.
Eso, revuélvelos.
I did that.
Yeah, you did that?
Every time.
Yeah.
I think he was looking for your number.
Shake it.
155. 155.
Okay, 155, 155.
Yeah.
All right, our new board member. Yes, now we're all set. Very good. Now, we have 2 more door prizes. There you go. Congratulations.
You're so shy.
Okay, 2 more. And the final, last door prize that you have to stick around for
Oh, yeah.
is a brand new 20-inch Weber grill right here. Okay. And again, who are we thanking for these door prizes? Wellna Hardware. All right. Hey, Wellna.
Does he have a ticket?
Yes, he does.
Does he know what his number is? Make sure his number is not 192.
Yeah, but
Is anybody checking his ticket?
I guess.
Okay, we'll do one more. We have got one more. We're going to save the last one.
We're checking your ticket.
We're going to save the last one to be the last drawing. Your name again?
Ara.
Ara, thank you for coming up, Ara. Thank you. And this one is, if we have any bike riders out there, okay, one of those little lights, safety lights. Ara, what are the last 3 digits?
165.
Very good, 165. 165. Go ahead, see, it works. Flashes. Going twice.
No peleen. No
What's that
peleen.
number again?
Tú eres
165?
tú ahí para hacer.
165. Check your numbers. Okay, gone. You get to do it again.
That's mine.
161.
Everybody hear that?
No.
161.
No.
Somebody was real close over here.
159.
161.
159.
No.
No.
161 going once. 161 twice. Gone. 161.
It's the last 3 numbers, right?
You were getting a workout.
Last 3 numbers.
150.
150. 150.
We got a winner.
Oh, we got a winner. All right, congratulations. What's your name?
Samakal?
Very good, congratulations. Let's see your number. 150. That's it. There we go. And here is your, wear that every place you go on a bike. Okay? All right. Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. For the last one. Any other business?
I'm not sure that we have any others. Am I forgetting anything?
When's the next,
What?
Martha would like to make an announcement.
Hi, I think perhaps most of you know about the Minneapolis 2040 plan that was discussed all of last year throughout the city. And I'm a member of a group called Neighbors for More Neighbors, which supported the plan because it encouraged more housing, especially in the far south and the far north of the city, where only single-family zoning had been proposed, well, had been in effect. It has been in effect for the last 50 years or so, in part to keep out poor people, basically. So more zoning in those neighborhoods means there'll be duplexes and triplexes and some apartment buildings on the busier streets will be allowed, which will allow more housing all over the city and help to reduce the housing shortage. And so Neighbors for More Neighbors were organized to support that effort. And we also support other groups that are interested in supporting people that are want to build affordable housing. So anyway, I've got some signs in case anybody wants to have a sign that says end the housing shortage. Neighbors for More Neighbors. And if you're interested, I can take your name or you can just look it up online.
Thank you, Margaret.
I'm Chantel Lejeudy, and I just want to make a few announcements. We have our taco sale on Friday, May 3rd, and then we have our annual 35th annual powwow at Cedar Field, May 11th, starting at 1. So if you guys can come out and enjoy. All right. Thank you.
That's Mother's Day.
That's your annual Mother's Day powwow, isn't that right?
Yes.
That's a great one. You really need to come out for that. It's wonderful. Anybody else like to make an announcement? Come on up.
So hi, I'm Jolene Jones. I'm the president of the Little Earth Residents Association. So I just wanted to also invite you guys on May 1st is Indian Month kickoff. We'll start in Cedar Field. We'll be having a march down to the Indian Center and there'll be a meal served there. Also, as Chantel talked about, our Mother's Day powwow, please come out. It's a great time to get to know our community. A lot of us don't interact with each other. You know, we're the most diverse community in the city of Minneapolis is East Phillips. You know, and the lady who talked about the 2020 plan, the housing stuff is a great plan, but they didn't do a very good job in engaging the minority communities. So, you know, we need to participate in stuff. We need to be a part of it, especially if we want our voices heard as minority people and minority women. We have to stand up and we have to stand together. So once again, you know, you're more than welcome to come to Little Earth. We have a YDC, we have youth services, we're doing all kinds of things. Our Red Bears are probably the best in the Minneapolis Park Board League. So come on over and get to know us. Yes, go right ahead. They want to put stuff on the Epic board page about our events. Yes, we're part of the East Phillips community where we make up 1/3 of the community, Little Earth does.
So very good, thank you. Anybody else want to say anything? Oh, good.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you stopped by the table over here where it says Little Earth Garden, but our Scout members are there. Our Scout stands for Safe Communities of United Tribes and Safety Champions of United Tribes. So we got a federal grant at Little Earth to start this team of people, and there are 12 residents who work for the Scout, and they range from 14 and up. So we have 6 youth. You'll see some of them here. We have 5 adults, soon to be 6 adults, and what we do is we want to do more community engagement and crime prevention. But one of the things we're working on is a peacemaking program. So like Brad mentioned, they actually Epic funded the Scout team, our youth, to go to New York, where they have 2 successful peacemaking programs going on. One in Brooklyn in a neighborhood called Red Hook, and one in Syracuse. And the Navajo Nation traveled there to train them, and they also included the justice system. So it's going to be focused more on healing instead of punishment, and community being able to have a say in
our community members who are getting into some trouble or whatever, and the community coming together and saying, hey, we want to work with this person, our community member, so we ain't just throwing them in court or getting them arrested or saying they're trespassed. So it's going to kind of start small in Little Earth, and we want it to stretch out because it is going to affect all of us in East Phillips. So we are going to be doing peacemaking training, and everybody is welcome to join that because this is going to affect our community. And we want everybody to be a peacemaker, and we have people coming in to train us. The information's on the table. The Navajo Nation will be our last session of trainers, and that's really special. And so it's free, and it's a volunteer basis, and we just really want everybody to join in on this.
And they do train youth, and this is the ultimate, you guys, put it on your resume, especially.
You'll get a
the
certificate.
Somali and the Hispanic community. You guys should really participate, because this is something that you guys can take back to your communities and do and get grants for through the DOJ. So, and
Yep.
kids are welcome to learn this, and we're hoping that at one of the programs that Sandy went to, the kids actually got civic credits for it in school.
It was actually brought in their school, their civic class. So they had 2 days civic, 3 days peacemaking. So the youth in that school actually got to hear real cases of their peers, their schoolmates. And so instead of being kicked out or, you know, whatever, they actually got to hear the cases in a peacemaking circle and dealt with. So that's why it's focused more on healing. And we ask all of you guys to please come learn more about it, sign up to be a peacemaker, because we need everyone for this to be successful in our community. And we want everybody, kids too, that's what I'm just saying. So come learn more about it, and you will get a certificate after the training. So thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Cassie. I wanted to just also thank all the youth from Little Earth and the Scout program who were here today to help represent the activities that they're doing. And I have to give a shout out, Cassie. The kids and youth from Little Earth are very active and involved citizens. And I hope you can see how proud that we are to be your neighbors. And we're, okay, sure. Yep. Thanks, Mary.
Hi, my name is Williamette. I wasn't part of the community for over 20 years. I wanted to stand here today and say I'm here attending as a visitor at this time, and thank you for the screwdriver. I mean, you know, the real thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but anyways, but I wanted to say miigwech to our women, because that's what I see. How these things are all coming together is the women did step up. They didn't keep that back seat that are, excuse my observation, that our men in our community seem to dominate for so many years. Our women are the ones that knows what we need to be able to take care of our families and our homes and our future generations. And I want to say miigwech to you women for standing tall and looking for the children, looking out for the kids, because that's what's most important, is we need to remember, don't forget our past and where we came from. We don't want to repeat that. So we need to keep going forward, and we need to take our children with us as we walk. Miigwech to our women in our community.
Thank you for sharing.
We have an hour, so if you've got something you want to say.
I'll try and make brief. I just want to give a little update on the Rift Depot project, what's going on now. In December, the City Council voted in a staff directive, and that staff directive has 9 points. And it created the Hiawatha Advisory Committee, which just met this past Monday for the first time. And there's like 25 people that are basically deciding what's going to happen with the Rift Depot, our indoor urban farm project. And we'd love to have you all come. The next meeting is May 6th. You know, it's a public meeting, it's right over here at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock PM. We didn't choose the time, you know, it's hard for people to get somewhere at 3 PM on a Monday, but, so it's Monday, May 6th, it's right over here at the existing Public Works Building at 1901 East 26th. And would love to have you all come. You know, there's so much positive about this project that can be for our neighborhood that we're just gonna keep pushing, and, you know, if they can, I don't think they can stop the positivity if we really keep putting it forward, so thank you. Oh, and sign a petition if you haven't already, that you'll see around on the tables. Thank you.
I wish I'd spoken before you, I got something to say about calendars.
Okay, here you go.
I wish I had spoken up before you got up here, because I want everyone to get your smartphone out and open up your calendar app. I'm not kidding. And create a recurring calendar appointment for the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 p.m. here at East Phillips Park. That is when our general membership meeting meets. So please, I'm serious, take out your smartphone, put it in your calendar right now. I've got it in mind. I just put that hack meeting in there too. So feel free, that was May 6th at 1 p.m.
3 p.m. 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, I'm going to fix that right now. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. at 1901 East 26th Street. Put it in your calendar. Maybe you can't make it, but if you've got it in your calendar, you might make it. Okay?
Hey Mary, can you also share for people who maybe can't make it to the meetings, is there a way to contact the whole board, like email or phone number for the board?
There is. It's, I believe, cpass@runbox.com. And
solar in 10 years. And I'm looking at the reality, and it's going to happen. But we didn't get the farmers co-op part involved. We're going to have wind and solar that's going to produce all this energy. Maybe it's going to take a little longer. But that's kind of looking inevitable now. When I started talking about it, it was a crazy idea. So the next thing I think of, I hear about neighbors for more neighbors, and I see reactions around the national newspapers about how Minneapolis kind of set the stage for this is the right way to do urban growth, is let's get people involved, let's make more room. Because if we're going to do something about housing, we need to have more places for people to live. I mean, I came by here every day and I saw a whole 30, 40 people who didn't have homes for the longest time. And I still don't know where they're going to go. And I want to challenge you, instead of saying, no, no, we don't want this, no, 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 let's imagine bigger, let's think bigger. What can we do? Can we go up? If the city needs a place to put trucks, and we don't like diesel trucks, then let's have electric trucks. If we don't like, think of what we want. I want to see a greenhouse on top of whatever they build. We can take the old building down, we can put a new building up, where we can go up. And if you look down over that way, you see what happens. Buildings go up in cities. So how do we go up and make more space for more people that's affordable? Not only is affordable, that when you go up, you start having to get into things where you can't own your home anymore. You might have to have shared cooperative ownership. So how do we in this community reinvest in buildings that the people that live in the building can own in a shared cooperative structure? How do we do this? Let's think about, what do we want to see? How do we grow our community? How do we make Minneapolis the kind of place where we're going to have 1 million climate refugees coming in? How are we going to have 1 million people in the city limits, and we're all going to get along, and we're all going to have a place to live, and we're all going to have food, and we're all going to have clean water, because we thought about what's going to happen. And not only that, we're going to have to turn the power off sometimes on a hot day, because there's not going to be enough power to run every air conditioner. So what do? Let's go to the park. Let's go to the lakes. Let's close down all the offices and go swimming for a day. Let's take a break. Because the weather is going to demand we do it. The climate is going to demand we do it. So how do we work with the climate we're in and work together and think about what we want to see rather than what we don't want to see?
Thanks, Troy. Come to our meetings and maybe we can start a climate committee.
Yes.
Well, it's a little bit earlier than our agenda has planned, but it may be time for us to have a grand prize drawing. Is everybody ready? Yes. Does everybody have their door prize ticket?
Yes.
Ready to go? Okay, Brad, here we go.
Okay, we need one volunteer one more time. Anybody willing to do it? Clara is going to do it. Come on up. Okay, this prize is our grand prize, and our little neighbor here, Clara, is already drawn a ticket, and this is for the Weber Grill. This is the big one. Trying to help Clara.
One. You say one? Oh, you want to go back?
I've got a one. 1, 8, 8.
Oh,
Everybody hear that? Let me see the ticket. Okay, I'll repeat it. It is 188 for the Weber Grill. You get 188? Weber, congratulations. Now you got to get it home.
I'll carry it for you.
yeah.
I think so. Give it the money. Next year, it's your turn. Congratulations, Margaret. Okay, once again, thanks for everybody. Yeah.
I'd like to just make one last thank you, and that is to all the staff here at East Village Park who have worked very hard to support our meeting today, and you've got wonderful attitudes, and you're so helpful. Let's give them all a really big hand. They work all year long.
Thank you.
think that's it. Thank you all for coming. If you see anything that you can pick up off your table and throw in the garbage can, it would help us out a lot. Thanks for coming. And I hope you all stuffed yourselves with cake because we've got a lot of it. Take a piece to go.